Antony is proving the doubters wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Players Zone YouTube channel. And it's about time I sat down here and had a chat about Antony, the turnaround, the former Manchester United player, now Real Betis player, taking La Liga by storm, taking the Spanish division by storm. One of many successful United players leaving the club and succeeding. And I think it's a whole sort of storyline here. One for the player, one for Real Betis, the club, and then equally so, one for Manchester United, the football club, and what it shows about the players that have come through at Old Trafford. It's a different story that reaches different areas. I've had time to look at it, watch a lot of his games as well. We've followed a lot here on the podcast, his transfer across to Real Betis, and it's been quite superb. You know, a team that was really no man's land in the January transfer window in terms of their league position at that kind of point in time. Close to Europe, didn't really feel like they could make it though. Isco underperforming, lack of goals up top from Victor Roque in particular, and a real, I feel like, lack of attacking threat. In comes Antony. They pay a fair chunk of his wages, but a fresh start for the Brazilian, and he's just hit the ground running. It's 3 goals, 2 assists in his 6 appearances. He's picked up 3 man-of-the-match performances as well. He had an assist taken away from him, I guess, due to a deflection in another game as well. So you're looking at 6 goal contributions in 6 games, contributing to 4 wins, a draw in there, and then obviously the loss versus Ghent in the Conference League. But all of a sudden, this season has been brought to life, that energy around the club. The commentator said in multiple games, there's a club that really likes to get behind their players. They love to see flair, they love to see excitement. And that's what Antony's given them. And I think the license given for Pellegrini, the manager, the support from the fans, has just gone lengths and bounds for his career. He's got him back on track where he was at Ajax. And yes, the fee was ridiculous. Yes, he was number 1 man wanted by Ten Hag. And all of a sudden, that became a storyline at Old Trafford. But we look back to the Antony at Ajax, and this is the Antony we're seeing now at Real Betis. Progressive, taking players on. And for me, the biggest one is wanting to run in behind the back line. At Old Trafford, his time in the Premier League in particular, it was a lot of back to goal, playing the ball backward, playing the ball sideways, and no real willingness to run in behind. And I think it was picked up midway point of last season when it was really, really struggling. There was footage showing of he just doesn't run in behind. He doesn't want to get in behind a back line, doesn't want to pressurise fullbacks. He wants to receive the ball and sort of half turn and pass the ball. Or try and whip that one top corner. And yes, he is still very left-footed. We know that. Sticks on the right-hand side, cuts inside and shoots. But I've seen him set up goals through attempts of crossing. He's got a fantastic volley in one of his man-of-the-match performances as well. And there's confidence in his dribbling. He's getting the ball and just wanting to get past players. Drop of the shoulder, changes of pace. Again, his trickery to beat a player isn't quite a top tier. But for me, what we saw at Ajax, what we're seeing again here at Real Betis is changes the pace, using his body in terms of dropping the shoulder, feints inside, going outside. And because now we're seeing him cross the ball with his right foot at Real Betis, all of a sudden defenders don't know exactly where to go. And yes, the Spanish league isn't known for its defensive acumen, but the way he's torn apart back lines, I don't care what division, what league, what pitch he's playing on, he's going to contribute. And I think back to it, the first game. On the pitch there, his first chance, blast the ball, Rosette type stuff, looking for that killing effort. And the fans are up, standing ovation, applause, getting behind the player. And I think that is the difference between what he's getting and his confidence now at Real Betis versus Manchester United and Old Trafford. Don't get me wrong, United fans are always behind their players, but it gets very toxic very quickly if things go wrong, that they shoot instead of passing. But instead of getting on his back, taking the history of the last year and a half, Real Betis fans, they took him as a brand new player. He shoots way off target. They get behind the player. That game continues to be a threat. Gets an inadvertent assist in the end there. Takes a nick on the way through to Isco, I think, in the end. So doesn't get the assist in that game, but was man of the match. Standing ovation, leaving the pitch. That does so much confidence for a player like Antony that is really a free spirit out there on the pitch, wants to take things on, is an energizer, runs up and down the park, will press, will tackle, wants to drive defenders, can make mistakes, but it's all part of the package you get with Antony. I think his manager comes out, his agent comes out and said, There is no hard feeling between us and Manchester United, but it wasn't the right fit. He was not happy. He was not getting selected. He wasn't rated by the management or the coaching staff. He comes to a fresh environment. They need a spark like Antony. I think you've heard quotes from Isco saying one of the best players he's played with. Isco and then Antony saying one of the best players Isco is that he has played with, considering he played with Bruno Fernandes, played with Ronaldo. It is a really significant connection they've built in the final third as well. He's assisted so many goals for Isco since his time there. Obviously, the 2 assists do go to Isco. Another assist in there as well. That was, again, robbed of him. In the end, ends in an Isco goal. Isco finds Antony a few times. It is a perfect link-up. It's reignited Isco's season. It's reignited Antony's career. And it's got Real Betis now in a real chance to try and get some European football for next season as well. So everyone has won from this situation. I want to touch on probably the best performance. Real Sociedad just over a week ago, a 9.3 SOFA score rating. Got the goal, a fantastic volley that went through bodies and found the bottom corner. A great assist to Roja as well. Superb play. Was close setting up another goal as well with his passing play. Inverted passes between the lines. He's got that in his game. It was 85 touches in that game. Probably the most touches we've seen Antony have since his time at Ajax. 85% pass accuracy, completing those passes. 4 key passes, which is one of the highest I've seen in some time for him. Again, probably thinking back to his early stage at Old Trafford. 4 to 7 ground duels won, and he owned that right-hand channel. You look at his heat map, it is purely down the right-hand side, not going to left back, not going to right back. He's playing as an out-and-out right winger, and the results are showing. And again, this is just a case of confidence. The player now has confidence. He is backed by the fans, backed by the manager, can express himself, and all things are going well. And I just think that's a big sort of circle put. We come back to the top. Players like Antony, Sancho, Rashford, Manchester United has ruined these type of players. Rasmus Højlund, Joshua Zirkzee, Alejandro Garnacho. The names go on and on. Younger players, inexperienced players, because their confidence just takes a nosedive. And I think players, especially like Antony, like I've said, who are free players, who play off a feel rather than out-and-out skill, they need that confidence, they need that backing, they need that belief from the fans themselves. They can take the game on. Those first 3 or 4 games he played for Manchester United go down in history, probably. It was a ridiculous start to his time at Old Trafford. Goals, involvement, trickery, assists, a bright spark, a difference maker, unstoppable, getting in behind. And then we never saw that ever since those sort of first 4 games. Mistakes, miscontrolled, force onto his right foot, and his confidence just took a nosedive. So I think a big thing has to be said for, one, the toxic environment at Old Trafford. It continues to be a major talking point. More players come, more players fail, more players leave, and then they succeed. Secondly, they're talking of Real Betis and the now revival of their season. Now, there's a real chance now they can go on and compete in the Conference League if they can turn it around. They've obviously got a strong position now to go to attack the league, to potentially get a Europa League at best. Potentially more realistic is a Conference League spot for next season as well, where their season just seemed null and void and over. But most importantly is Antony's playing at a ridiculous level. 3 man of the match performances, crossing with his right foot, assisting, pass accuracy numbers up in the 80s and plus, goals, assists back in his game. Then you think, what's next for them? I don't think he comes back to Old Trafford. He wouldn't want to go near it. I think intrinsically he would want to go back to Old Trafford, but for the best of his career, you go back to Spain for me. And I said it in the podcast, I think last week, whether it be Betis or whether it be another club in Spain, Villarreal have to have a punt on him surely, because the performances, the confidence, the ability, and how quickly he's taken to the league, the pace, the speed of the game, that give-and-go type passing movement that we see a lot in La Liga. I repeatedly say it's the best to watch football because it is one touch, it's in and out. The passing, the movements, the passages, counter-attacks are just a thing of beauty in Spain, and it plays into the hands of Antony. Give-and-goes are perfect for him. It allows him that confidence to run in behind, facing up defenders, using that trickery. Him and Isco working so well as a combination. Drop in, receive it somewhere else, drop it off, drop back inside, play a reverse ball. It works so well for his style. And I think sometimes archetype players fit certain archetype systems, but some players just suit certain leagues. I know my Footmas, which I did over Christmas, I talked about how Premier League players have gone to the Serie A and revived their career. But Antony, the player that he is, he's found the league for him. He's found the situation for him. I'd love to see him go back to Betis because they're a great side to watch. But I wouldn't be surprised if another club that's also competing towards the top end of La Liga goes and takes a punt on him as well. I think a Villarreal will be a great opportunity for him, a side that's been robbed of a lot of players. Potentially a Girona if they want to go back to the top under Miguel. We obviously know what Savinho did for Girona 2 years ago now. He's a Brazilian replacement, ability to cross the ball into the box, but goals, a good replacement there for Girona as well. Or does he come back to Old Trafford? There's a lot of questions has to be asked about that, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comment section down below. But I just had to make this video. It's been, for me, a really happy thing. I'm happy to see players succeed. I think there's too much said nowadays about being critical and harsh and, I guess, aggressive towards players underperforming. It's great seeing players find themselves, find that confidence. And we think only a few years ago, he was dominating the Eredivisie. And I think it actually is hurting the Eredivisie's credit that players are coming to Old Trafford. Erik ten Hag signing a lot of those players and they're underperforming because the league isn't that bad. Look at PSV in the Champions League. It's a very solid league. And I think Antony just needed this fresh start, needed this confidence. He even said the weather's better as well. That's got to be a positive as well. But just I'd love to see him playing his best football, driving at defenders, running in behind, using both feet, scoring goals, making assists. It's just a great thing to see. So fair play to Antony. All power to him to keep going. I jokingly said, could he make a team of the season type bench? But if he keeps going the way he's going and ends the season on, double-digit goal contributions, he might make it the way he's going. He's taking the league by storm. The fans love him. The commentators love him. I think the Spanish media's loved this turnaround. So potentially a real historic end to the season coming here for Antony. And his red card, which he got in the last game, has been rescinded. So this weekend he takes on Real Madrid. That's going to be really, really exciting. An exciting thing to see there as well. Let me know your thoughts on Antony. What do you think's been the main cause of this turnaround? Is it just the fresh face? Is it the pressure of Old Trafford getting the better of him? Or is this always been there and it wasn't utilised by the management at Old Trafford? Let me know that in the comment section down below. How many goals and assists do you reckon Antony will get coming to the end of the season? I think he gets probably 8 goals and 5 assists, I think, in the end to finish the season off. I think he's got 3 more assists in his game. I think he's got 5 or so more goals. It's been a great start, and I think he keeps it going because he hasn't stopped so far from his time at Real Betis, so a lot more to come. If you enjoyed the video, guys, smash a like on it, subscribe to the Players Zone channel, press that post notification bell. If you'd love to support the channel as well, please become a member of the channel. The starting 11, early access to podcasts, exclusive perks coming in terms of exclusive videos per month, and also a channel badges as well, and the ability to interact with me as well, which would be much appreciated. So if you would love to do that, please join the membership here in the Players and Channel. With that being said, guys, I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the upcoming football action, and I'll see you guys in the video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.